Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Welcome to the Our Team Podcast. I am Brian Auer.
I am Lorianne Auer.
And I'm excited for what we're going to talk about, especially because, can I just be really honest right now? Mm-hmm. I have absolutely no idea what we're talking about.
Okay.
So I'm here to moderate. So if something's on your heart you wanted to share, let's do this.
Okay, so we hosted an open house last weekend, and I think what was really what I walked away with, not only did we do a great open house, but we spoke to many buyers and buyers that have homes to sell, and they just didn't know the process. They came in, they're like, well, we love this house, we want to write an offer. We have a home and we have an agent, and they're not willing to put our house on the market. And so I said, well, tell me a little bit about that. And it just kept on happening, you know, from Orange County to LA, and they just weren't fully equipped and they didn't know the process, meaning a process from listing your home to having it on the market to coming out here looking for homes in our valley, fully prepared to buy a house. You know, they're here, they're looking, they're excited. Homes are going quickly. So I think as listing agents and as we train our team and we raise them up to be better than, you know, your standard agent that's out there, and an agent that is really handcuffing your listing by not putting it on the market because they're afraid they're going to be homeless. And we talk about this a lot with the team. They're afraid they're going to be homeless because you've actually not, you know, spoke with confidence on the process. Because we're all about, I promise you, you're never going to be homeless. I know you're scared. I know you're a mama bear, and you want to make sure that your family's not displaced. So let's talk about what that looks like. It looks like putting your house on the market, getting your photos, doing your video, you doing all the amazing marketing, and, you know, start getting those offers in and countering those offers and, you know, making it contingent on you finding a replacement property, whether that's 12 days, that's 21 days, but you have time. And most sellers are scared to death. They're like, oh my gosh, how in the world do you find a replacement property in 21 days? We'll lock up with somebody like me or somebody on our team that listens well, helps advise and guide you through the process to where, you know, when you and I are out showing property, we're very good with listening, explaining, describing, and helping people pick a property prior to even, well, number one, we're not going to show it to them. And we start eliminating properties that they send and reasons why. Yeah. And it's not anything outside of giving them really good guidance. Something that they remember, we're there to guide and advise. They don't really know, even if they bought 5-6 homes, the process has changed. It's changing. We talk about it all the time about our buyer presentation. It changes more than every 90 days, if we could be safe to say every 60 days. The market is changing right now. And then, you know, you just go out there, you send your counter offer, you get everything in escrow, and now you start looking, and you're even a stronger buyer if your buyers removed all their contingencies. And you're even stronger if they can allow you to stay in the property more than 29 days. Anything greater than that, now you're tied up into a lease. Right. And your 29 days right now, you're getting still at no cost. So I think that's really important to help them feel confident. And I just recently heard, I had no idea. My agent sent me out here to look at properties, and they didn't tell us any of this. We have no idea what you're talking about. Do you have a seller's net sheet? That's your proceeds, because normally you have to have a pre-approval letter and proof of funds. Your proof of funds are your proceeds. They don't even know what that is. Right. They were never even given it after the listing appointment.
Yep. I think the what you said about making sure that you at least have that conversation with them. Like, look, you're not going to be homeless. We're not going to We're not going to have you list your home, get it sold, and be closed to escrow, and you're living in your car for the next 2 months while we're trying to find you a house. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And there's
Well, it can.
Well,
Excuse
it can
me.
if
It
you-
can if you're working with the wrong agent, for
Right.
sure. And they
I'm only talking about us.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not gonna ever happen like that because, like you said, we will, when we're analyzing offers as they come in and we're countering, it's going to be very clear that the sale of this home, which is their it's their house that they're selling, right? They're looking to move up or move down or move to a different area, what have you. That move is contingent. The sale of their current residence is contingent on them finding a suitable replacement property. So then it becomes, well, okay, that's great, Lori, but how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna get me a house? Realistically, in 21 days. Well, I can say firsthand that you can definitely do that because I've seen you do it. I personally know buyers who've been looking for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and then they fire their agent, they hire you, and they're literally in escrow in a week or two. And it's because you're asking the right questions, you're finding out exactly what they want, and you're not showing them a bunch of random stuff that they just that just confuses them.
right.
You're just showing them exactly what they need. By picking up on, their family needs, you can suggest, well, you like this area over here. Have you considered this over here? Because you know the area so well, because you know how to get to the bottom line real fast, and you know how to source and find properties for people.
Right.
So if you have an agent like you, then it's a no-brainer. Get your home on the market. Let's start getting offers. And then let's start writing on some properties contingent. Of course, it's going to be contingent, but, the way you do it and the way your timing works, it's pretty amazing.
Right. It's really seamless. I mean, you can even have 5 legs to a transaction, and if I would have to say not many can, but if you actually have everything written down and you have a plan and you talk with every agent, lender, escrow, and you are very precise on your timelines and you're following up, looking at that calendar, one agent can ensure that the whole process, hopefully it's you, right, can ensure that the whole process is happening on time. Nobody's displaced, whether it's your client or not, whether it's the first leg, the last leg, the in-betweens. It just has to all be buttoned up and calculated, very methodically calculated out. And I think how I help buyers really identify properties quicker is I give them more of what's not going to work. They give me a price point where most agents just plop in the price point, bed, bath, square footage, and they just push, send or adjust or, and you really have to maybe open up your search criteria more and spend 2 hours opening up every photo because your client already told you they don't like dark homes. So you're going to eliminate dark, dreary homes unless you've walked it and you know that you can lighten it up. They don't like street noise, so you're going to look on the map and make sure it's not backed up to a busy street. They do or do not want to be on a corner lot. They absolutely don't even know that what is better for resale. Well, better for resale in our neighborhoods, not talking La Cresta, Duluth, the Wine Country, Meadowview, Rancho Santiago Estates. I'm talking just your standard single-family resident home. If you're above 700, maybe 750, you want a bedroom and bathroom downstairs, period, end of story. Because your buyer, the more seasoned buyer, is going to be looking for 3-car garage, cul-de-sac, 5 bedrooms, or 4. One of them have to be downstairs with a bathroom with a shower. No, they don't really know that. They're just out there just sending you 4 or 5 bedrooms, and they didn't even think that one has to be downstairs. The majority of them don't. But if you're only looking for a bedroom downstairs, and you as the buyer know to do that. But if you have another buyer that's just giving you the generic specs, they just don't really, they don't think about that at that time. They think about taxes. They think about HOA, no HOA. Have we ever had a conversation on buyers coming in saying, I don't want an HOA?
Yeah.
Why don't you want an HOA?
We just talked about that
Did you guys do a podcast on that?
We did that on the pros and cons of a homeowners association, and at the
Okay,
end of the
good.
day, I prefer them. We
Yeah.
both do.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I really I want to make this. What am I trying to say here? We're talking about a seller that already is moving for a reason, and they're also going to buy with you.
Right.
So that person really should know exactly what they're wanting, because they know exactly what they don't want anymore with the house that they're selling. You know what I mean? But there is a lot of buyers, forget the ones that are selling a home to buy another home, because they're more educated on what their wants and needs are, because they've just lived in this home for a while. They have all these disqualifiers now. They're looking with more specificity for the next one. But how many buyers come to you through an open house or whatever? They don't have a home to sell. It's going to be their first time purchasing. And you ask them all these questions about what they want, what they're looking for, and they come across like they know exactly what they want. But after a little bit of a conversation with you, you realize they have no clue what they want.
Right.
They don't even know what they want.
Right.
And that's what you're good at discovering.
Well, we talked about this time and time again. When I go to go car shopping, the guy knows what I want. I want comfort. I want speed.
Yeah.
And he knows all the rest of the things about the car that he'll enlighten me on.
Yeah.
But he just gives me exactly what. It was very interesting. Julie and I were doing an open house, and it just jogged my memory. He's like, I want somebody like you. I said, but you're already working with an agent. He goes, well, I need somebody to tell me the things that I need to be prepared for, looking for, the process. And he was at our open house. He was already under contract. I'm pretty sure he's going to cancel.
Yeah.
And he goes, I need your help. So I gave him my card. I'm like, you can call me anytime you want.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to help you. But they really are scared. And then he's like, well, I'm just doing everything my agent says. And I said, well, what is your agent saying? He's like, really nothing. And
So you're doing nothing because they're saying nothing.
You're doing nothing, and you're
Yeah.
sitting around for 10 days waiting for a seller to respond
Yep.
on your request for repairs. Maybe
Yeah.
revise it, maybe ask for a credit,
Yeah.
maybe go out and look at another house.
It's another reason why you should really strive to be the knowledge broker in your area, because there's a lot to learn there, and you want to be able to provide real value, not just perceived value, but real value. So you should, if you're a pro agent, you should really, really learn the schools. You should really learn the taxes. You should really learn the pitfalls of living in a certain area without an HOA and living in a certain area with an HOA. All these different things, right?
Right.
I think you should be an absolute expert. You can't expect to be a really good BMW or Mercedes, dealer.
Especially if you
And-
just came
and
from
not-
Volkswagen.
Yeah, you're right. And not know the car.
Right.
I mean, I would never, ever buy a car from somebody that didn't know everything about that car,
Right.
because otherwise I don't need you.
Right.
If I'm going to know more about the product than you do, then something's out of balance there. And it's
Right.
the same way. It's amazing how many realtors get into this business and they don't even know some of the simple mechanics of how certain things, even with the house, how things work.
Right.
It's like you're selling a house, you're selling an experience, or a neighborhood, you're selling, but you should know, if there's only 11 panels on the house, that's not going to cover all the electricity. It's probably a power purchase agreement situation or something like that, right?
Right.
The point I'm trying to make is you need to be that agent that knows how to really bring value, so that people do look at you and they say, I need someone like you.
Right.
I really need someone
He
like
did
you.
ask Julie. So how do you identify one home is better than another home? Right? So you've went out and you've shown home after home after home. In one day, we analyzed and we evaluated every home, from flooring to window treatments to windows, because
Yeah.
we were looking in Temecula at $750 to $775. The homes are like 1980, 1995, and they're not dual pane windows. They're not new Milgard windows. But there was another house that had new flooring, crown molding, new windows that the buyers had no idea, didn't even notice.
Yeah.
And the bathrooms were upgraded, kitchen was upgraded, and they were all selling very close proximity, $10,000 to $20,000 difference.
Oh yeah.
That was the winner chicken dinner. You
Yeah,
know, that
for
house
sure.
with all those upgrades, bedroom downstairs, beautiful backyard with a nice little view, tucked away in a cul-de-sac, 3-car garage, low taxes, and no HOA.
Right.
It was
The perfect house for them.
You couldn't compare. And then, but at the same price, we were in Red Hawk on a house. The agent made a big deal of that. It backs up to the waterfall. You know that all the kids take their pictures and
Yeah.
graduations and stuff like that. So we went to the house and we're in the backyard, and you know, you just see the traffic of Red Hawk to Margarita, and there's the waterfall. But it just zoom, freeway, right? Why would
Miserable.
I buy that house? And they were considering. I'm like, can I just tell you why you can maybe make this work, but when you call me to resell, that right there is going to be your problem. And
Yeah.
that's going to be the reason why I can't get you top dollar, and that I can't change.
And it's the reason why the house is sitting, right?
So reason why the house is sitting.
Yeah.
So all those things you have to
Yeah.
talk about. A smell. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where's that smell coming from? Well, this house needs brand new carpet. It's the things that they don't. They just don't know to look for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look up under the eaves. How much can you see of wood rot? Wood, treatment around your windows. You're going to have wood rot. So
You know, you and I have had the privilege of being involved in a lot of flips. So we do know a lot about the mechanics of a house. Not just neighborhoods, things like that, but literally like, how to identify problems in the house and things like that. One thing I would suggest, if you are a newer agent and you've got a couple of transactions under your belt, make sure you go to your buyer's home inspection. Don't squander that opportunity to learn a lot about homes, because
are you saying
when-
just if it's vacant, of course, you would just send the home inspector? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be there, right, with your buyer, but don't just stand around on your phone and let the home inspector do his thing. I don't want you to be obnoxious and get in the home inspector's way,
Right.
but I want you to observe what he's looking at or she's looking at. Just shadow in the most discreet way what the home inspector's doing for your buyer, so that just for no other reason than you're going to learn so much about what that inspector's looking at. Why is he calling it out? What could be something that you can learn from that situation? I've learned so much about, how to identify wood rot, just because, sometimes it's so subtle. I mean, you can tell when someone's painted over it. You can tell. I know a lot about HVAC systems. The difference
Right.
between a heat pump system or otherwise,
And the water regulators and
exactly, pressure regulators and plumbing issues, and why things would be draining slow, and when it's important and maybe not important to scope the sewer, right? All kinds of things.
And things that actually are cosmetic. You as a real estate agent can't make a big deal over things that are cosmetic, because at the end of the day, the seller's not going
Right.
to give you any credit for cosmetic.
Yeah.
If you have a crack in the stucco, and if it's greater than a nickel, you might have an issue. If it's not, it's just
Yep.
stucco cracks,
Yeah,
concrete cracks. If it's big cracks and they're a trip hazard, you got a tree real close that has lots of roots that could be a problem.
That's right. Yeah. Well, this is all good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad you took the time to share all this with
I
everybody.
think it's important. Too many buyers walked in the door that were so
Uneducated.
deer in the headlights, and they're like, "Oh, I just kind of think I'm just looking at homes because
Yeah.
I want to write an offer. I want to buy a house, and I can't buy a house because I have a house to sell."
Right. It's
What does
another-
that? What does that look
It's another
like?
reminder on how powerful an open house can be. When you have all these people coming to your open house and you actually are a very knowledgeable agent, that you're not just saying, welcome to the open house and let me know if you have any questions. You're actually engaging with them, asking the right questions, figuring out where they are in their buying cycle, winning them over with conversation.
Right.
They're powerful. I heard Kyle Whistle give some staggering comments or stats. He said my team does over 100 deals a year just from open houses.
Yeah.
100
But
transactions.
Or you can be the agent just stands there on their phone and they say, hey, come on in if you have any questions. And then they walk right out the door and
you got nothing.
You didn't have a conversation. You have to create the conversation.
Yeah.
The number one best, most important question to ask when they walk in the door is, hi, welcome to our open house. What brings you in here today? What area did you come from? And that opens up the conversation. Do you currently own a house? Do you rent your home? Are you in a month to month? You know, when's your lease up? Hey, oh, by the way, we've gotten many people out of their leases so that they could do a purchase, help write a love letter to the owner. So it's really all the questions,
Right.
you know, it's
Yeah.
really important. Be fully prepared.
It's probably better that the team just goes and does them with you so that they can really see and observe and absorb it that way. Because if you were to write a manual on how to do it the way you do it, it would be a very thick book, right?
I'm better. I'm better. I'm visual, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the agents on our team are visual, and I have fun doing the open houses.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in their way, but you know, again, the most recent one that we just did, Julie and I were kind of tag teaming, and I would see people lingering for an hour, right? And I didn't want to take that person from Julie. I wanted to help secure it, right? So I just went and had more conversations, and that's the guy that was just like, I've never met anybody like you. I need somebody like you to help me out. I kind of felt bad for him when he went out the door, you know, because there went a lost little sheep.
Yep.
I need him. I need to come bring him on in. So.
And you got to be careful, because if they are under contract with another agent, you've got to really just, as a respect to your fellow colleagues in the industry, you have to kind of.
For sure, but he asked questions.
Yeah, if
you
he's
know?
asking, that's different. Yeah, but
Totally different.
well, cool.
I think you just come with confidence. You come excited. You come, you know, at a whole different level of energy. If you just have that real good, not look on your face of I'm scared to death, I don't know what to say, just to have, you know, role play with yourself. Look in the mirror, do a video, talk, you know. I think that's, you know, record yourself. Oh my gosh, that sounded stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So genuine. You know, you have to have genuineness and compassion.
I'm constantly role playing. That's the best place for me to role play is in the car. And I'm always doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, I think about scenarios that happen on our team. I think about, you know, teachable moments, and then I sort of just role play it through and go, oh, okay, yeah, I should have said that better, right?
Put yourself in the consumer's shoes, right? We've bought and sold many homes, and I mean, being that buyer trying to get that house is just so, it's so sickening, because you really want that house, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things of why you've already made dreams and wishes, and you're inspiring certain memories there. So are they. If you can, as an agent, can just always be the client, know and feel what the client's feeling. Like I get concerned for my client on certain scenarios before they even do, and I let them know, hey, I'm on this. I'm just as sick to my stomach as you, and I do not take this lightly, and I have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, always have a plan. Always be their hero, and I'll just really appreciate it for you. They'll appreciate you.
Clients for life.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Well, we can end it there. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts on that.
It's important.
It is very important. All right.
Okay.
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Before you
Catch you
go,
on the
would you
next
do
one.
us a favor? If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment. It really helps us out.